discrimination!
Okay.
You're targeting me because I'm white!
Ma'am, they've asked you to leave.
Give me the statute. I know my rights.
The aisles of a grocery store are supposed to be a neutral zone. It is a place where we all agree to suspend our differences for 20 minutes to buy milk, bread, and eggs. But in the footage you are about to see, that social contract is torn to shreds by a woman who believes her race and her imaginary connections give her the right to terrorize a community. We are looking at a Kroger, a place of commerce that becomes a courtroom for the court of public opinion. The defendant is a woman we will call the Duchess of Delusion. She isn't just rude. She is operating on a frequency of entitlement so high that it is audible only to dogs and career criminals. What starts as a complaint about the price of egg salad and a demand for social distancing quickly morphs into something much darker. This woman doesn't just want to speak to the manager, she wants to rewrite the Constitution. She claims she is being persecuted by the Irish Mafia. She claims her boyfriend is a secret agent for the CIA who outranks the local police. And most disturbingly, she claims that because she is white, she is immune to the laws that govern the rest of us. She treats the officers not as enforcers of the peace, but as servants who have forgotten their place. But here is the twist. While she is busy lecturing the police about federal privacy acts she doesn't understand and threatening them with her imaginary boyfriend's power, she makes one fatal, verifiable mistake. She lies. And in the world of law enforcement, a lie is the key that locks the handcuffs. You are about to watch a woman talk herself out of a warning and directly into a jail cell, all while convinced she is the victim of a global conspiracy. If you enjoy watching the walls of delusion crumble under the weight of legal reality, and if you believe that justice should be colorblind even if the suspect isn't, please hit that subscribe button. It helps us expose the truth behind these viral encounters. Now, let's enter the store. Officer Carter walks into the grocery store, the fluorescent lights reflecting off the linoleum floor. The atmosphere is tense. Shoppers are standing still, carts abandoned, watching a scene unfold near the customer service desk. In the center of the storm is a woman wearing a sun hat and an expression of pure disdain. She is wagging a finger at a manager who looks like he has aged 10 years in the last 10 minutes. "You are discriminating against me," she screams. "This is reverse racism. You are kicking me out because I am white." The accusation hangs in the air, heavy and toxic. It is a classic DRVO tactic. Deny, attack, and reverse victim and offender. She was the one harassing customers, telling them they were diseased because they wore masks. She was the one screaming about the price of sandwiches. But in her mind, she is the Rosa Parks of the frozen food section. Officer Carter approaches calm and professional. "Ma'am, the manager has asked you to leave. You need to gather your things and step outside." She spins around, looking at Carter with a mix of shock and amusement. "I don't have to go anywhere," she scoffs. "I want a legal reason. Give me the statute. Give me the code. I know my rights. I have a right to buy food. You cannot starve me just because you don't like my heritage." She is trying to turn a trespassing issue into a human rights violation. She believes that if she uses enough big words like statute and heritage, the officer will get confused and walk away. She underestimates Officer Carter. "Ma'am, this is private property," Carter explains, his voice level. "They don't need a reason. They want you gone. If you stay, it is criminal trespassing." This is the concept she cannot grasp. To her, the store is a public utility, and she is the public. "I am a citizen," she yells. "I pay taxes. I pay your salary. You work for me." It is the anthem of the entitled. She genuinely believes that her tax contribution grants her ownership over the police force and the grocery store chain. She pulls out her phone. "I am calling my lawyer," she threatens. "And I am calling my boyfriend. He works for the CIA. He is in DC right now. Do you know who you are messing with? He can have your badge by morning. Carter doesn't flinch. He has heard it all before. The imaginary powerful boyfriend is a common trope among people who feel powerless in their own lives. It is a security blanket woven from lies. You can call whoever you want from the parking lot, Carter says. But right now, you are leaving. He gestures toward the door. She doesn't move. She plants her feet. I am not leaving until you give me the name of the manager, the name of the employee who complained, and your badge number. I am building a case. This is a conspiracy. She is digging in. She thinks this is a negotiation. It is not. The officers decide to move to the next phase, identification. In the state of Georgia, and many others, refusal to leave after being warned is a crime. To issue a citation or make an arrest, they need to know who she is. Ma'am, what is your name? Carter asks. She laughs, a high, mocking sound. I don't give my name to strangers. That is the Privacy Act. Federal law. Look it up. Unless I committed a crime, you can't ask me anything. We are equals. She is citing the Privacy Act of 1974, a law that regulates how the federal government stores data. It has absolutely zero application to a police interaction on the street. But she says it with such conviction that she clearly believes it. She is a sovereign citizen of the grocery store. I am not in commerce, she might as well say. I am a traveler. Ma'am, you are being detained for investigation of trespassing and disorderly conduct, Carter says, escalating the legal status. You are required by law to identify yourself. If you don't, you will be arrested for obstruction. Obstruction, she shrieks. I am not obstructing. I am educating you. You are the one obstructing my constitutional right to buy egg salad. You are the criminal here. The standoff continues. Shoppers are filming. The manager is pleading with his eyes for the officers to just take her away. She is now ranting about the Irish Mafia. I know who sent you, she whispers loudly, leaning in. It's the Irish. They hate the British. I am of British descent. You are targeting me because of the potato famine, aren't you? It is a delusion so specific and bizarre that the officers exchange a look of genuine confusion. Ma'am, I'm from Atlanta, Carter says dryly. I don't know anything about the Irish Mafia. That's what they pay you to say, she shoots back. They have directed energy weapons. I've seen them. They are killing people in my neighborhood. And now they want me out of Kroger so they can poison the food supply. We have crossed the Rubicon from entitlement into mental health crisis. She isn't just rude, she is scared of phantoms. But fear doesn't give you the right to break the law. Okay, Carter says, patience exhausted. Last chance. Name. She pauses. She looks around. She realizes the CIA boyfriend isn't swooping in to save her. She decides to play a card she thinks is clever. My name is Zinman, she lies. Zinman. Carter writes it down. First name. Mary, she says. Mary Zinman. Carter radios it in. Dispatch, run a Mary Zinman. Silence on the radio. Then, no record found. Ma'am, that name doesn't come back to anyone, Carter says. Do you want to try again? That's because I'm in the witness protection program, she yells. My boyfriend hid my identity to protect me from the Irish. See? I told you. She is layering lies on top of lies. A lie about the name, justified by a lie about the boyfriend, justified by a lie about the mafia. It is a house of cards built in a hurricane. Ma'am, if you lie to me again, you are going to jail for giving false information, Carter warns. This is a felony charge in some places. It is definitely a crime here. Just give me your ID. She clutches her purse to her chest. No. You can't touch my purse. That is illegal search and seizure. Fourth Amendment. You need a warrant signed by the Supreme Court. I don't need a warrant if I arrest you, Carter says. And right now, you are under arrest. He moves in. She screams. Don't touch me. I have brittle bones. I have a condition. My boyfriend will have you executed. The threats escalate from firing to execution. She is flailing, trying to keep her purse away from him. It isn't just about the ID anymore. It is about control. For a woman who believes the world is out to get her, giving up her purse is like giving up her soul. Carter and his partner secure her arms. She goes limp, then rigid, then limp again. The chaotic resistance of someone who has never been physically handled before. Help. Police brutality, she screams to the empty aisle. They are raping me. They are stealing my money. The accusations are vile. She is trying to weaponize the very real issue of police misconduct to save herself from a trespassing charge. It is a slap in the face to every actual victim of abuse. They get the handcuffs on. The click is loud. You are making a huge mistake, she hisses. When the CIA finds out about this entire town will be a crater. We'll take our chances, Carter says. He reaches into her purse. He bypasses the wallet and pulls out a driver's license. He looks at it. Well, look at that, he says. Your name isn't Zinman. He reads the name on the card. It is a very ordinary, very British-sounding name. But it isn't Mary. And she isn't in witness protection. She lives 3 streets over. That's my sister's ID, she lies again. I'm holding it for her. Does your sister look exactly like you? Carter asks, holding the card up to her face. She sputters. We are twins. Identical twins. She is the evil one. I am the good one. It is almost Shakespearean in its absurdity. She cannot admit defeat. She cannot say, I lied. She has to invent an evil twin to maintain her narrative. They walk her out of the store. The walk of shame. But she doesn't feel shame. She feels martyrdom. Look at this. She yells to the people in the checkout line. This is what happens when you are white in America. We are the new minority. They are rounding us up. A young couple just stares at her, horrified. A child points. Mommy, is that lady a bad guy? Yes, baby, the mother says. She is behaving very badly. She hears this. I am not bad, she screams at the child. I am a patriot. I am fighting for your freedom to eat egg salad without a mask. They get her to the cruiser. She refuses to get in. I am claustrophobic. I need a luxury car. My boyfriend drives a Mercedes. I cannot ride in a Ford. The Ford is all we got today, Your Highness, Carter says, guiding her head down. He pushes her into the back seat. She kicks at the window. I will sue you. I will sue the city. I will sue the Ford Motor Company. The door slams. The sound cuts off her rant, muffling it to a dull roar. Carter sighs. He looks at the manager, who is standing by the automatic doors. Is she gone? The manager asks. She's gone, Carter confirms. And she won't be back. Thank God, the manager says. I just wanted to sell groceries. Inside the car, the rant continues. She is alone now, but she is still performing. She talks to the partition. You think you won, she tells the plexiglass. But the Irish mafia will come for you. They have satellites. They are watching you right now. She looks at the camera mounted on the dashboard. Hello, America, she says. My name is. Well, I can't tell you. But I am a political prisoner. Send help. Send money. Send the Navy SEALs. It is sad, in a way. This is a woman whose reality has fractured. She lives in a terrifying world of her own making, where every stranger is an enemy and every inconvenience is a conspiracy. But mental illness, if that is what this is, does not absolve her of the responsibility to follow the law. She was lucid enough to lie. She was lucid enough to try to hide her identity. She knew what she was doing was wrong, she just thought she was special enough to get away with it. At the station, the booking process is a nightmare. She refuses to stand on the tape for the mugshot. She makes faces. She screams that the camera steals her soul. Name, the sergeant asks. Queen Elizabeth, she says. Put down the name on the ID, the sergeant tells the clerk. And add a charge for false information. She is fingerprinted. She claims the ink is poison. She claims the scanner is a tracking device. She is fighting every step of the way, turning a 20-minute process into a 3-hour ordeal. They put her in a holding cell. She paces. She yells at the other inmates. Stay away from me. You are all Irish spies. A woman on the bench looks at her. Lady, I'm from Detroit. Sit down and shut up. For the first time all day, she sits. Real authority, the authority of someone who truly has nothing to lose, finally silences her. Let's break down the reverse racism claim. It is a common shield used by entitled people when they face consequences. By claiming she is a victim of racial discrimination, she attempts to co-opt the language of civil rights to defend her bad behavior. It is offensive and legally baseless. Discrimination laws protect against being treated differently because of race. She wasn't kicked out because she was white, she was kicked out because she was a nuisance.
This is discrimination!
Okay.
You're targeting me because I'm white!
Ma'am, they've asked you to leave.
Give me the statute. I know my rights.
If a white person yells at customers, they get kicked out. If a black person yells at customers, they get kicked out. That is equality. What she wanted was superiority. She wanted the privilege to yell without consequence. When that privilege was denied, she called it oppression. And the Privacy Act defense? It is a classic, Google law degree move. People read a headline on a conspiracy forum and think they have found a cheat code for life. They think if they say the magic words, Privacy Act, Sovereign, Article 4, the police will glitch out and disappear. Reality doesn't work that way. The law is a complex system, not a spellbook. The Irish Mafia delusion is worth noting. It speaks to a deep-seated paranoia. She needs an enemy to explain why her life isn't going the way she wants. It can't be that she is unlikable. It can't be that she is the problem. It must be a grand conspiracy. The Irish. The CIA. The government. This externalization of blame is the hallmark of the narcissist. Nothing is ever their fault. If she trips, the sidewalk attacked her. If she gets arrested, the police are corrupt. This worldview protects her ego, but it destroys her life. It prevents her from learning, from growing, from ever just saying, I'm sorry, I had a bad day. The fallout for her is significant. She is charged with criminal trespassing, disorderly conduct, obstruction of justice, and giving false information to a law enforcement officer. The false info charge is the big one. It stays on your record. It screams, I am a liar, to every future employer. Her CIA boyfriend never showed up. No lawyers called. No Navy SEALs broke down the door. She spent the night in jail, alone with her thoughts and the harsh reality of a concrete floor. When she was released on bond the next morning, she looked different. The sun hat was crushed. Her clothes were wrinkled. She didn't scream at the desk sergeant. She just signed the papers and walked out into the sunlight, looking small and defeated. But did she learn? Probably not. People with this level of entitlement rarely do. She likely went home and posted a long, rambling story on social media about how she was kidnapped by the deep state. She probably told her friends that she is a hero who stood up to tyranny. The ego is a powerful editor. It cuts out the parts where you look bad and leaves only the parts where you are the star. However, the video exists. It is on the internet forever. And that is the ultimate justice. She can lie to herself, but she can't lie to the millions of people who watched her meltdown. The Duchess of Delusion has been dethroned by the truth. This story is a warning about the danger of living in an echo chamber. If you spend all your time online reading about directed energy weapons and secret cabals, you start to lose touch with the shared reality we all live in. You start to see monsters in the grocery store. You start to treat your neighbors like combatants. We have to be grounded. We have to realize that most people are just trying to get through the day. The manager isn't a conspirator, he's just a guy trying to run a store. The cop isn't a mafia hitman. He's just a guy doing a job. When we lose that humanity, we lose ourselves. The role of the officers here cannot be overstated. They showed incredible restraint. They were called thugs, racists, rapists, and thieves. They were threatened with death and job loss. Yet, they never raised their voices. They never got physical until they had to. This is the standard we should expect from police, but it is also a standard we should appreciate. Dealing with a person in the grip of a delusion is exhausting and dangerous. One wrong move, and she could have escalated to violence. They managed to de-escalate by simply being boring, by being repetitive, by being the wall of reality that she crashed against. As for the store, peace returned. The egg salad was restocked. The customers went back to their shopping. The disruption was temporary, but the lesson remains. Private businesses have rights. They have the right to curate an environment of safety and respect. When someone violates that, they forfeit their place in that space. It is a simple concept: be nice, or leave. It is the golden rule of civilization. She broke it, and she paid the price. We also have to talk about the boyfriend defense. It is a specific form of bullying. My dad is a lawyer. My husband is a cop. My boyfriend is CIA. It is an attempt to borrow power you haven't earned. It is cowardly. If you want to fight a battle, fight it yourself. Don't hide behind a phantom protector. In the end, her boyfriend was as real as her legal arguments, a figment of her imagination designed to make her feel big in a world where she felt small. The final image of her, screaming about the Irish mafia while being buckled into a police car, is a tragic comedy. It is funny because it is absurd, but it is tragic because it is a human being completely untethered from reality. She is a cautionary tale. She represents what happens when entitlement meets mental instability, fueled by internet conspiracy theories. She is what happens when you forget that you are not the main character of the universe. We have watched a woman destroy her own reputation and catch a felony charge over a trip to the grocery store. It was a completely avoidable disaster. All she had to do was walk away. But her ego wouldn't let her. So, I have to ask you, the viewer. When a person is this detached from reality, ranting about the CIA and the Irish mafia, should the police arrest them, or is this a case for a mandatory mental health evaluation? At what point does, being a Karen, cross the line into a mental health crisis that requires a doctor, not a jail cell? Let me know your thoughts in the comment. Do remember to hit the subscribe button, like and share this story, and I'll see you in the next one.